Hello to everyone who is joining us from all over the world right now. I sincerely welcome you all to our first webinar session, I've Applied, What Happens Next? My name is Hansika Ambehlegedere and I'm an alumna of the Learning, Education and Technology Masters program here at the University of Oulu. And I'm currently working at the University of Oulu and I will be the host for this discussion. During this session, we will talk about the selection process, the timeline, admission communication, and as well as student life experience here at the University of Oulu. For that, we have two experts from the Academic Affairs Unit, Ulla Alanko and Emma Esteri Pihleyama, and 6 international students who happen to be UniOulu ambassadors and who are currently studying at the University of Oulu. I warmly welcome all of you to this session, and I hope we will have a very productive discussion, which will be helpful for our viewers today. Ulla Alanko, could you briefly introduce yourself?
So, hello everyone, my name is Ulla. I'm working at the University of Oulu Academic Affairs and I'm taking care of the student services, especially for our international degree students.
Thank you, Ulla. And Emma, you two are working in the same unit. Can you also tell our viewers what is your role in the team?
Yes, gladly. Hi, everybody. My name is Emma Pihleyama, and I work at the admissions team. And my work is to make sure that the whole admissions process goes as smoothly as possible.
Thank you, Emma. Now let's have a quick introduction round with our UniOulu ambassadors. Let's start with Stanley.
Hi everyone, my name is Stanley Omechi. I'm from Nigeria. I'm studying digitalization, computing and electronics. I'm a first year student, bachelor's.
Thank you, Stanley. And then we have Tuba.
Hello everyone, this is Tuba Whitehead and I am from Turkey. I'm studying Learning, Education and Technology program. The interesting fact is about me is that I wanted to study this program for 1.5 years before I applied. And now that I'm here, I am trying to make the most of it by using all the services the university offers. And yeah.
Thank you, Tuba. And then we have Vanessa.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vanessa. I'm from Germany and I'm studying marketing. What is a fun thing about me being a University Oulu student is that I still would get lost on the campus if there wouldn't be this handy app which can navigate you to your next lecture.
Yeah, I quite agree with what you said, Vanessa. And now we have Mairead.
Yes, hello all. My name is Mairead and I'm here from the United States studying a master's degree program in the Faculty of Education. This year I'm in my second year studying and my program is called Education and Globalization. We have students from all around the world and we focus on sharing and discussing our perspectives and educational backgrounds and researching educational systems in their own contexts. And at the University of Oulu, I've also been able to continue playing my violin as an amateur violinist with the University Chamber Orchestra. And I've gotten to participate in a couple of the official events with the university through that.
Thank you, Mairead. And then we have Aline.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aline. I'm from Brazil. I am a first-year master's student in business analytics. I'm in the study path of computer science and engineering. And a funny fact about me is that before I wanted to apply to a completely different program in Oulu University, and while I was waiting for my admission letters, I started searching for more about the market and what I would like to work with. And by the time they actually came, I completely changed my mind and I'm so happy I did. I love my current program. So, hi everyone.
Thank you, Aline. and then we have Niranjan.
Hi, my name is Niranjan. I'm from India. I study in the DICE Bachelor's Degree Program in majoring in Computer Science and Engineering. An interesting thing about me is that I like playing sports a lot, and I do take part in a lot of sports and events organized by the UniMove organization, which is a part of the University of Oulu. Yeah.
Thank you, Niranjan. And last but not least, we have Ipargul.
Hi everyone, my name is Ipargul Mokhtar from China, and I'm studying my master's program in epidemiology and biomedical data science. I know it's like pretty long name, so we call it EBDS. Yes, and now I'm writing my thesis. Hopefully I will soon to be a graduate. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ipargul. And thank you everyone who introduced yourselves. And I must say that was a really interesting round of introduction. Now, if we focus on the selection process and the timeline, Emma, can you explain to our viewers what is happening at the moment in the backend?
Yes, a lot is happening at the moment. A lot of exciting things are happening. Now we've already started processing the applications, and that continues in February, and the selection committees will start their work. And this work varies from one program to the other. So there's not one answer we can sort of give people on what happens at the moment. But there's evaluation of your documents. Some programs have interviews, and there are other things happening as well. And then in March, results are published, except for these few two programs mentioned here. So all the DICE programs, as we call them, and then this new bachelor's in international business management, those will publish results for those applying with a Finnish matriculation exam or other degrees in May or June. But essentially, most of the results are published in March.
It was possible for international applicants to apply for 21 master's degree programs and 3 bachelor's degree programs. So I believe some of these programs have an interview round before they make the final decision. So Emma, do you have any remark on that?
Yes, as you said, and as I mentioned earlier, some programs have interviews. And if you're wondering, does my program have interviews? It's important to check the admission criteria in Study Info. And Study Info is where you also applied, made your application. So there you can see the read an admission criteria part. And there you can find and see if your program has interviews. And for those who have interviews, we kindly ask you to carefully look at your email, because that's where we send the invitation if you're selected for an interview, and patiently wait to see if you are selected for the interview, but keep checking your email and even the spam folder to see if you've received email from us.
Thank you, Emma. And now comes the most interesting question. What to do if an applicant gets selected for the program that they've applied for? So Emma, do you have any tips to share at this stage? What steps should they follow once they receive the good news?
Yes, that's definitely the most exciting part. And what we ask you to do first and foremost, if you are accepted as a student, is to verify your educational documents. That is the most important thing you need to do to make sure your acceptance is not revoked. And if you're using a language test to prove your language skills, you have to remember to make sure that you have ordered the test results for the University of Oulu. And how to do this, you can find the instructions at our website. And remember, as I said, if you don't do these things by April 28th, your study place will be cancelled. So this is very important to us as well as you.
Yes, I'm sure all of our viewers are very excited to hear the good news and patiently waiting for that email to arrive in their inbox. So I wish the viewers all the very best, and hope you will be selected to the University of Oulu. And Emma, can you remind our viewers of the important deadlines when it comes to the application process?
Yes, we've sort of collected here the most important things, and there's another slide that has them collected as well. But what we need you to do is to accept your study place in study info. That's the #1 thing you cannot change. If you don't accept your study place, then there's nothing we can do. So that's maybe the first thing you should do. And then you need to pay your tuition fees at EduStore and apply for a visa or a residence permit as soon as possible, because that always takes time to process. And if you're graduating in 2023, you have to take these certain steps and send us your final degree certificate by the given deadlines here. So these are the most important things in addition to verifying your documents and your language test. And here you can see the deadlines again, and I've sort of highlighted the one that I personally find the most important is to verify your documents, because that's a very it's a deadline we cannot change, and we can't really do anything about it if we don't get those verified documents on time. So that's my #1 tip for you. Remember this deadline. Then also important is to pay your tuition fee at EduStore, confirm your study place by this deadline, but you can do it the day you receive our offer as well. You can do it right away when you receive the offer, but at latest July 14th. And as I mentioned, if you're graduating in sort of after the application period, then you need to submit your final certificate or diploma. And at the end of August, beginning of September, our academic year begins, and you need to remember to join us here in Oulu and to present your original degree certificate and transcript. So those are the most important deadlines from our perspective.
Thank you so much, Emma. And Ulla, so what now? How should an applicant get in touch with the university if they have any question?
Okay, so this year we received a record number of applications, which is great, but it also means that it will take some time to process all the applications. So please wait patiently to hear from us. It will take some time, but everyone will receive an email eventually. In case you have any urgent questions, please be in contact with our admissions team by email at admissions.oulu.fi. And it's also a good idea to follow us on social media in our different social media channels to stay up to date with what's happening here at the University of Oulu.
Thank you so much, Ulla, and thank you both Ulla and Emma for your thorough answers. And now, the fun part of the discussion. So we have 6 international students who happen to be UniOulu student ambassadors. We had the introduction round before at the beginning of this session. So let's directly dive into their student life experiences. So let's start with Tuba and Vanessa. So this question is for both of you. Were you invited to an interview after submitting your application? And yes or no? And how did you prepare yourself for the interview? How was your experience? Let's start with Tuba.
Hi again. Thank you so much for the question. First, I felt like over the moon. I was very happy because it was a very big step for me. But then I felt anxious because I didn't know what to expect. But when I was writing my cover letter and research interest, I did extensive research on the curriculum, the courses, institution, teachers, research students, and what they have been doing so far. And afterwards, I looked at my own cover letter, CV, and research interests so that I can see how my background was related to the program. And also, this helped me articulate my qualification and experience in a concise manner. And then I came up with some interview questions from my cover letter and research interests, and I organized also some basic interview questions, and then I did mock-up interview with my friends, and they give me valuable feedback, and then I focused on that. This also helped me calm down and feel more relaxed, and I knew what I was expecting. And as a result, my interview was really chill, and they were really lovely people, and they made me calm down. They were laughing all the time. It was really nice. And quick note, just study and prepare yourself, and it's going to be fine.
Thank you, Tuba. And Vanessa, what about you? How did you prepare for the interview?
Yeah, my preparation looked actually very similar to Tuba's. I can agree that it is very useful and very important to get to know the program and the university well beforehand, because for me, this also helped to already have some questions in mind, because I went to the interview with the attitude or the mindset that this is not a test about me. This is more like a possibility for the university to get to know me, but also for me to get to know the university. So in a way, I used this as a possibility to ask questions, to get also a feeling of how the program that I applied for is actually working. And this is why the interview also went very nicely. It was more like a conversation. It didn't really feel like I get tested. I had the freedom to explain why I applied and why I believe that this program is suitable for me and my interests. But I really felt like this was like not a one-sided dialogue. This was more like a nice conversation. And also my interviewers have been very, very nice and open and friendly people. And so far, all of the staff members I met at the University of Oulu are very friendly. So I think that you don't need to stress about it. You can just, prepare yourself. That's the only thing you can do in advance, but don't stress about it. Be yourself, stay calm, enjoy it, and see it as a possibility. And yeah, I wish all of you best of luck, and I hope that I will see you at one point in autumn then.
Thank you, Vanessa, and thank you, Tuba. So, Stanley and Niranjan, this question is for you. Can you remember the moment when you received the good news that you were selected to the University of Oulu? How did you feel at that time? In the email, what kind of information did you receive? Let's start with Stanley.
Hi, everyone. It's quite funny. When I got the email, and I went to get pizza back in Nigeria. And I ordered for the pizza, and the next thing I saw a mail on my phone. The good thing about the University of Oulu and receiving, why I was quite excited about getting the admission was University of Oulu was not, especially the DICE program, digitalization, computer and electronics. It wasn't the second choice for me. It was a first choice for me. So it wasn't like I was stepping out from one choice to the next choice. And I came from a background where a bit of work experience and have dabbled my hands a bit into IT. So for me, I clearly knew what I wanted, because in choosing your university, you also want to choose, apart from the cost, you also want to go for quality and not just the regular, not just to have a regular teaching pattern, something which is kind of stress-free and you're getting into the grind of it. And coming down here, I found out that University of Oulu, it's actually like the Silicon Valley. It's actually Silicon Valley of Europe, and they are quite very good, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence. And for every research I did, for every expectation I have gotten here, it has really exceeded it. And I know I made a very good choice. So when I saw that meal in a pizza store, I really got quite excited. And it was really nice. And I'm still eating pizza till today, just so you know.
Yes, you get the news when you least expect it. And Niranjan, how did you feel when you received the good news?
So I got the mail from study.ite with a positive decision on my admission. I was very excited because I was not expecting it at all. It was out of nowhere. In the mail, we had attached an admission letter as well as a letter from the student tutor. So, and also there was information regarding important things that we have to get done quickly, like confirming the study place, payment of tuition fee and the deadline, applying for housing and residence permit, etc. So all the necessary information was given. It was very helpful. And also within a month's time, we also had an info session with the faculty as well as our respective student tutors, and we could clear out all the doubts we had. And the student tutors also shared their phone numbers and stuff, so we could message them on WhatsApp itself, keep it informal. So yeah, since this is my first university experience, all of this was really exciting for me, as you can expect.
Thank you both, Stanley and Niranjan. Those information was really helpful. And I hope it will be helpful for our viewers today. So next question is for Ipara and Aline. So what was your first impression of the University of Oulu after arriving here? How do you enjoy student life here at the University of Oulu? Let's start with Aline.
Hi again, everyone. So before I got accepted, I was actually living in Oulu, and I came to the university to deliver some documents, I believe. And it wasn't in the middle of the semester, but I was just mesmerized by the campus, and I just wanted to study here even more. But then when I came here in the first day of orientation, I was so shocked because it was so lively and full of students, and it was a very international feeling as well. You hear many languages all the time, Finnish obviously, but English, and it just has so many places to study or to hang out or grab a coffee. It really is a place that makes you just want to stay here the whole day, which I usually do. The professors as well, they're very friendly and they were really open. It's an academic place, but it's also not very formal, so you feel very comfortable here. And I had an idea about how good education was in Finland, obviously, but after I started studying, it just exceeded all my expectations because the educational system is so good. And the system is built in a way that you learn without a lot of stress, but you learn very efficiently and it's very project based. So I just really like the academic life and being a student here, being in the campus and in contact with my colleagues. And you go to the campus and maybe there's an event that you didn't even know about, but you feel very integrated and you have many opportunities to maybe take language courses or try some new sports as a student, and you have a lot of benefits in that way. So for me, it completely changed my experience of living in Finland.
That's really lovely to know. Thank you, Aline. And next, Ipara. So what was your first impression of the University of Oulu?
Well, I quite agree with Aline. I have also similar experience. So I would say my first impression would be the construction of the main campus. Like from the outside, it gave me the feeling that it was like very smartly designed and it looks innovative, unique. So I was like saying to myself, oh, kudos to the designers and architects who had done this great job. So like when I stepped inside of the university, I well, I was also impressed by the like various facilities that are provided by this university. Like we have Fab Lab where you can do some artifacts or like technological things using those technological support device. And like from we have many spaces to study, like TELUS or library or elsewhere, and there are many like canteens available throughout the day. And also like in this university, the staff and the professors are really nice. Whenever you need help, they are always there for you. So I think I got many study support from them. And we also have like many activities, events going on, which are organized by, for example, like Student Union, Guild, ESN International Association, yeah, and other activities, events by the local government as well. So I have never felt lonely or boring here throughout my stay. And one thing I would mention that the housing facilities are very good as well. Like most of us live in SOAS, or as I pronounce PSOAS companies housing. And in the rent, like we have free sauna, gyms, internet, everything. So yeah, like I'm really happy to study and live here. Yeah.
Thank you, Ipara, and thank you both, Aline and Ipara. So the last question is for Myrit. So Myrit, how does being a UniOlu student help you to achieve your goals as an international student? Is it what you hoped it to be?
Yeah. Well, I think in moving abroad, I was very aware from the start that I wanted to find community and make strong relationships while I was here so that I would feel at home and comfortable. And I did mention, for example, I've been able to continue some of my interests from before arriving here and find community in that way, like in the chamber orchestra, and then in the city of Oulu, the Irish Week, where I got to do some fiddling and dancing and meet people through that. And then within my program, the Education and Globalization Master's degree, the structure of the courses and sort of the entire program overall is focused on the sort of cohort model. So the teachers, administrators, and then also just ourselves, the students, we're trying and focusing on making it fun and easy to build strong relationships while abroad. So yeah, and then I've also been surprised, of course, in some ways to extend my horizons further than I expected, and to be able to come to Finland and live here. But then also I've learned about the possibility of accessing the Erasmus program and grants from the internship course that I took with Education and Globalization. And over the summer, for example, I got to visit a friend from my program while she was doing her Erasmus internship in Madrid, which was lovely. And then this spring, I'm going to use the Erasmus program to study abroad, sort of during this study abroad, and be able to use some of those courses in my Oulu transcript, which is pretty exciting. And then finally, a big part of the reason I was drawn to EdGlo, Education and Globalization, was that we are required to participate in an internship course. And I really have always appreciated the interplay between practical work and theoretical discussion, academic discussion. And so then this last semester, I used the connections between the university and the Oulu International School, and I completed my internship there, which was a wonderful experience, and I could develop relationships with teachers and students and see how Finnish schools are unique from the inside. And then I've started to develop my master's thesis work from that. So I also have really valued being part of the Oulu city community and the university community in that way, in that internship.
Yeah, thank you, Marit. So it's quite an experience you've had there, and good luck with your exchange program. Now we have come to the end of this discussion, but before we conclude our session, Ulla and Emma, do you have any final notes to add?
Well, from my part, at the risk of repeating myself, I would say that just remember the deadlines, and you can check them from our website that has all the most important deadlines there. Just stick to those, and yeah, let's see you in the fall.
Might be that I'm also repeating myself. I know that many of our applicants are very anxious to hear from the university and hear about the selection results. But as mentioned before, we received a huge number of applications and it will take some time. So I would just emphasize the fact that you need to be patient at this time and just wait. We will send an email to each and every one of our applicants at some point. And stay connected via our social media channels.
Thank you, Ulla and Emma, and thank you all of you for this fruitful discussion. And I hope our applicants who happen to be the audience today will find this discussion to be helpful. And I wish you all the best luck with your application and hope to see you in Oulu. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.